Greetings, fellow corset makers. Hi, this is Madam Corsetiere from Dragontown Corset Supply at corsetsupply.com, better known in the Muggle world as Brooke. Today, I'm going to show you how to apply the shrink tubing that I carry at corsetsupply.com in order to finish the ends of your corset laces. So anyway, the shrink tubing I carry is 3/32 of an inch in diameter, and that sounds really small, but it's actually the perfect size. A common misconception about shrink tubing is that it can start really big and shrink down really, really small. It really doesn't. So the shrink tubing that you need is going to have to be similar in diameter to the lacing that you're using. So what I carry is 3/8 of an inch nylon lacing. This stuff is totally suitable and is practically indestructible for tight lacing corsets. And I also carry 1/4 inch 100% cotton, which works best in a medium to light duty corset. So when you're going to finish the end of a lace, your shrink tubing really only needs to be about 1/2 of an inch. You can use more or less depending on your preferences, but I'm just going to cut this in half so that I've got 2 pieces, and that'll be perfect for the ends of both of these laces. I'm going to start with the nylon because it's a little more work. The nylon itself will shrink with heat. Just a couple of things before I start with the flame. Please don't burn yourself. That's going to make me feel really bad. You don't need to put it down into the flame because you'll singe it and it'll be discolored, or even worse, you're going to catch it on fire, and that at the very least is going to ruin your day. Anyhow, we're going to have to work the nylon lace a little bit before it will cooperate with the shrink tubing. So I'm going to work this over the flame and twist it and pinch it and melt it down so that it's narrower and closer to the diameter of the shrink tube. Now, for those of you who don't want to do the shrink tube route, nylon lacing is the perfect product because you can melt and pinch these ends and they'll harden like that and they'll never fray, and you can totally use that for your corset. It'll go right through your grommets without a problem. Okay, that looks about good to me. So now I'm going to take the shrink tube and I'm going to insert the end of the lacing, and you can see it slides right in. And I'm just going to twist it a little bit to get it to seat. Now, depending on your preferences, you can leave some at the end if you want to pinch that down real narrow, or you can just bring the lacing right up to the edge. So I'm going to keep twisting this and pushing. And there. Okay? Now, I'm going to heat the shrink tube carefully. This gets really hot, and if it gets too hot, it'll get gummy. So be careful when you pinch it. I don't want you to burn yourself. You can do this with a heat gun, like the kind that you use for strip and paint. Most hair dryers won't get quite hot enough for this application, but you're more than welcome to try. The reason why we shrink the lacing, the nylon lacing, before we put it in is because if you were to get this hot enough in order to shrink the shrink tubing and the lacing at the same time, you're definitely going to have a fire, and most definitely you're going to burn your fingers. So that's why I do it in 2 steps. Okay, so that looks awesome. And I'm just going to snip off this little bit of excess here. And ta-da! You have a beautifully tipped piece of corset lacing. One of the great things about buying lacing by the yard is that you have whatever length that you want. Most pre-cut, pre-tip lacing, it'll come in 3 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards, and you're going to have to make do with that. If you're a corset maker like me that prefers to have one long lacing in the corset as opposed to two, then cutting and tipping your own is definitely the way to go, because some of that can be, depending on the size of the corset, between 8 and 10 yards. So now we're going to move on to the cotton. The cotton is a little bit easier and faster. It doesn't require that extra step of melting because cotton itself isn't going to melt. It'll catch fire. So I'm just going to twist that a little bit and get it started, and see, it just slides right on. Right down to the end. Perfect. Now if you're into the aesthetic, go ahead and untwist that a little bit so that it looks a little nicer. I also carry the shrink tubing in black, by the way, but the clear is suitable for any color, and you can use it on black too. Personal preference. And like magic, perfect. So you can get your lacing and your shrink tip and your busks and your bones and your grommets and all kinds of other great goodies at fantastic prices at CorsetSupply.com. If you have any questions about this or anything else corset related, as a matter of fact, shoot me an email at orders@CorsetSupply.com. You can also join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/corsetsupply, and you can tweet me at Corset Supply. I hope this helps, and I hope all your corset making dreams come true. I'll see you later. Bye.